Okay, it's starting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fun episode of the Woolen Mill Comedy Club presents the Hickory, the Drunk, and Under Quarantine show. It was another crazy week. We got more crazy stories to share. And thank you for everybody who followed us over to the Big Guys Entertainment Podcast. Unfortunately, Mr. Left of Gandhi himself, Collen Doyle, couldn't make it over with us. But Pierre, GW, and Vinny and I had a great time. And thank you guys for coming out. Tonight, we're going to talk about a few crazy things that happened over the week. We're going to talk about the little old ladies in Portland that got covered with some paint. We're going to talk about, of course, the explosion in Beirut and some of the other current events coming up. But without further ado, I would like to introduce the first performer tonight. He's a co-host of the show. He is into week 16. We're on episode 16. It's going to be a good episode. 16th week, still pants-free, as far as I know. At least that's what the secret webcam that we run for the private show says. Please welcome to the spotlight stage our great friend, Mr. GW Foley.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Woo!
Yeah, I just realized that I have a different name up. Gee, typing right now. Look at that. Bam. I'm actually GW Foley now. Who that other person was, I have no idea. That's crazy. That's amazing. Yeah, I am pants free still. Week 16. It looks like it's just going to go to the end of the year and not wearing any pants. And I'm okay with that. I've come to grips with my pantslessness. It's one of those things where sometimes your pants just don't fit right. And I don't know, there was some sort of like moral code I wanted to go with right there. Some sort of like Aesop's fable thing there, but I'm not going to. So my dog met my neighbor's car the other day.
Oh,
that was fantastic. Nothing bad happened. He likes to smell it and pee on it. So yeah, I don't know what she has on her car that has attracted my dog to it. She must have hit a bunny rabbit or something, just didn't know. But yeah, no, he's all into that car. Like, I'm afraid that he's just gonna go up and dry hump it. That's my big fear is my little wiener dry humping this poor lady's car. And she's new to the neighborhood. So it's not like she's met my dog before. And how do you explain that to somebody? Like, oh, hey, sorry, I'm going to have to squeegee off your car. My dog just jizzed all over the place. So, by the way, I had a conversation with someone, and I hate the term came for when you climax. Using it as the post, instead of came. It's wrong. I think it should be cummed because it's spelled differently. If it was spelled C-O-M-E, I could see saying came, but it's C-U-M, so it should be cummed. And that just makes it a little better sounding. Whatever, I still cummed in you. That has a better ring than oh, I just came inside you. That just sounds like you're going to a restaurant and not just dumping a load in somebody. I just lost every train of thought that I just had there. Coming inside somebody. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it for me. My camera's gone drunk and my beer can's disappearing, so let's pass it over to Collen.
Hey, how's everybody going?
good.
I love when GW's on camera and he just looks like the oldest brother from Back to the Future. Because taking a sip out of the invisible beer. Great Scott, Marty! At this rate, GW will be gone by the end of the program. There's my Christopher Lloyd. How's everybody doing?
Woo!
Everyone out there as well. I've had an interesting experience. You know how like people always talk about like Thanksgiving, and they'll be like, you know, when you're at Thanksgiving and you have like the one racist family member, you have to deal with like the one racist family member. It's like, I grew up in a family that wasn't racist. I don't know what to tell you. I never had a family racist. I mean, the rest of the family would have been like, shut up, we're trying to eat our turkey, you know? I always had Thanksgiving with my mother's side of the family, which is Italian, and I think a lot of that probably came from my grandfather growing up and probably, you know, experience of racism as an Italian American, as they used to call them, all sorts of racist names and terms and all this stuff. But what I'm confused is this country is very, very confused right now. We're very confused. I think we need to go back and just focus on history. I think some things have been lost, such as like the structure of governments, you know, like fascism. Like, I don't think people understand what fascism is. And I see a lot of people defending it. And it's like, this has been something that in America we've never defended. In fact, we've launched wars against countries because they were fascist or communist. And it's like now all of a sudden we're like, you know, we're defending fascism. I think it's hilarious that the president comes out and says, look, there's a terrorist group that says they're anti-fascists, okay? And they need to go down. It's like, wasn't that the American military during World War II? I don't understand. And you have to pick a flag, right? I think that's the confusing part, is people need to pick a flag. Like, if you're a real, like, American patriot, you know, then you can only fly the American flag, you know? I don't know if I've talked about this before, but please just fly the flag and respect it. You know, I'm what people would call a libtard snowflake, and I wouldn't ever dare put on a pair of shorts that were made out of the American flag. You know, you have to respect that. The same thing with Blue Lives Matter. Okay, we want to go with Blue Lives Matter, that's fine. You can't use the American flag as your symbol. You got to come up with a new thing. You can't take the American flag, turn it gray, and then put a blue stripe in it. That's actually against what we're supposed to value as a country with the American flag. If you fly a Nazi flag, a swastika in America, you're basically saying that you're on Germany's side, right? If you fly the Confederate flag, you were against the Union, you know? So I think that people just need to pick a flag. If you're going to fly a flag, fly whatever flag you want so we know where you stand. But you can't fly all of them. You can't have the swastika with the Confederate flag and the American flag. It just doesn't work. Why don't you fly Japan in there as well? I think it's interesting because there's still a lot of people who don't believe in the coronavirus. A lot of people are still very skeptical about it. They're very skeptical of masks. They don't know what seems to be going on. And what we do seem to see is Florida is dying. They are dying at an outrageous rate. And I think we're starting to know what works. Like New York put on masks, New York City's doing great. Florida didn't put on masks. Florida's dropping like flies. There is a sort of thing that we can understand. Sturgis right now, 250,000 people out in Sturgis riding their bikes from all over the country. No masks. No masks. So we'll see how that goes. The way it seems to go is it's almost like God hates Republicans as much as Republicans hate masks. You know? A lot of people are worried about the voting by mail, right? They're very concerned about that. And to me, as someone who is actually fairly, I'm going to be a little bit more political today than I usually am, but as someone who is very concerned about the politics in America, I would not risk a felony to put 2 votes in for Joe Biden. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, it's like I'm all in the game, but I'm not about to, commit a felony to try to help this election out. And I don't think most libtards are going to do that. A lot of people with me, I think that people don't get. I was recently talking about, education and all these things, and I think education is important in America, but people value it for different reasons. My whole feeling with education has always been that in America we're playing a game, and the game's called capitalism. And the way you win that game is through acquisition, not necessarily education, right? The most educated person in the room doesn't necessarily get to be the richest, you know? So it's a game of acquisition. So with me, I've always felt like if you're able to make more money with less education, go for it. Mazel tov. You win the game of capitalism. And so with that, I feel like I'm very lucky that I've been able to make money doing things that I enjoy in my life. But the second I no longer have to make money, I won't. I promise you. People just don't get that. It's like with me, it's like if I got one $20 million film and I got to act in it, I don't know if I'd ever do another. Like the last movie I ever do. Like I saw Will Smith's doing yet another movie. It's like, why are you still acting, Will? You've got $250 million. Just give it up. You know what I mean? Just enjoy your life. He's like, I enjoy making movies. No one enjoys making movies that much. I assure you. Waking up at 3:30 in the morning to get into hair and makeup, no one enjoys that. No one enjoys that. I was doing a play and the mega bucks got to be like over $1 billion. And my whole cast started to talk about, you know, well, what would you do if you had $1 billion? And what would you do if you had $1 billion? And it got to me and they were like, what would you do? And I was like, not much. I gotta be honest with you. I would do very little. And they're like, that's not true, Colin. You'd still act. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I assure you, after I pass $1 billion, I'm never doing another play or film again. You know, I might enjoy producing some work, but at the time I was literally jumping and hurling myself across the stage onto my hip 8 times a week. I'm not doing that because I'm passionate about it anymore. I am contractually obligated to have to perform. You know, that's where I'm at right now. Will Smith, stop acting, pick a flag. Fascism was the preferred governance of the Nazi Party, believe it or not. And all's well outside of that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the main act of this show. And that's why we're all here every week. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I bring to you Hickory, the drunk and underwhelmed.
Welcome back, everybody. And I know you were expecting to see me on another camera, but we are going to try something different tonight. I was fortunate enough to be able to perform a little bit of live performance earlier. And what I'm going to attempt to do is show you all the video of said performance. And we will see how this goes. There's a very good chance that it may work, and there's a chance that it might not. So let's try this. You guys can see that?
Yes.
Cool.
I was hoping that somebody with all the chocolate jokes would have said Dove, which is okay. Good Lord, I'm glad nobody was hurt. That was terrifying. Next, I will ask if I could get 2 volunteers to the stage. Yes. Who don't mind being on film. Full disclosure, this may be on the Hickory the Drunken Under Quarantine show later tonight. Okay. You wouldn't mind taking either side of me? Okay. Welcome to the stage, guys. Will you please introduce yourselves? Give us a little background. I'm Hickory the Drunken and Underwhelming. I'm an alcoholic who likes to perform magic. I'm Nick.
And I'm Gracie.
Okay. Really well. Thank you, guys.
Of course I had to pause. I'm sorry, guys.
They're not giving anything away.
No, and that's fine. They don't need to. What we're going to do, ladies first, we're going to have you and count off 7 cards into my left hand, please.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, you got 7, and then hand the dick. You're going to take your 7 cards, just stick them in a pocket or somewhere safe where it can't I don't have access to
on
them.
the other side then?
Yep. Somewhere where I couldn't, somehow steal them or
Remotely.
anything. And would you please count 7 cards off into my hands?
I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, very nice. So now what we're going to do is I'll take that back. You take your 7 cards. You're going to stick them somewhere safe where I can't get to them in a pocket. I don't know, maybe down the front, wherever you want to.
In front.
And the next, I will ask if anybody has a ring that I can borrow for this next card.
A ring?
Preferably one with no jewelry, no stones. Oh, that would be perfect. I'll even let you borrow my ring.
Oh, thanks.
Hold on to it. That way we're fair.
I need one of these.
Well, you always got to make sure you have your ring on you.
Yeah. It's hairy.
So you would say that there is no way that could be pulled off of there if I did not let go, right?
Wait.
Give it a little tug. On there firmly. Try this.
Oh, wow.
Ready?
Oh,
Okay.
Here, we'll
wow.
try this. We'll try a different.
Wow.
And same deal. Like if that was there,
Oh,
I could not.
wow. Oh,
Nick, you wouldn't mind holding on to that. We gotta take like 2 steps left. Sorry.
move together.
It needs the magic wand.
We need the
Yes.
wand.
I'm
We need
gonna
the
have you
wand.
guys grab the wand with the other hand.
My.
It's the first time I've had 3 different hands on the wand once in a while. Pretty magical, guys. What we're gonna do on the count of 3 is you guys are gonna pull the rope tight. You're gonna stay loose for a second and then pull tight so you don't crush the hand.
Okay.
And I'm gonna remove both of my hands. And something very magical is gonna happen. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go 1, 2. Oh, fun. Oh, fun.
Oh, wow.
But the ring has traveled from the rope to the wands
Oh, neat.
Wow.
through the power of my hands.
I love it when a girl holds my wand like that, by the way.
Nice shot. Sorry we talked.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Thanks.
Thank you. We traded rings back. My ring is safe. Your ring is safe.
It's clean. For now.
Okay. So we will.
Very good.
I think the next thing to do would be we'll have somebody in the audience pick a number between 2 and 4.
Wow. Between 2 and 4.
Yes, preferably an odd number. One that could be considered maybe a magic number. Anybody wants to just throw a number out between 2 and 4?
7.
3. Okay, we're good. Okay, we got 3. What we're going to do here is we're going to make 3 cards magically travel from Chrissy's back left pocket into Nick's front right pocket.
Correct.
God, my memory's so good. Okay, what we're going to do. Three. Now the hard part, we're going to transfer them back. No, that would be too easy.
Yeah.
That'd be cheating. What we're going to do is, Chrissy, if you wouldn't mind taking your cards back out.
Okay.
And now that I've stolen 3 cards from your pocket, you wouldn't mind counting those into my hand.
Got 1, 2. Oh, in your hand.
Yes.
Sorry, tell us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. Whoa.
And Nick, if you wouldn't mind counting your
Wow.
cards into my hand, sir.
Oh, you're kidding.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a big hand for Christy and Nick. Hey, Christy, you can return to the crowd.
And we're back. Hey guys, that was the first time trying that out. That was interesting. Maybe we'll try more of that in the future. I hope it was fairly clear. You guys get your audio. Might have had a few laggy issues there.
Did anyone else get hard listening to that laugh track?
That's going to be the staff for the show when we go to the studio. Just saying.
I was gonna say, they laughed so hard I cummed.
Okay, we will keep the show on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Welcoming next to the spotlight stage, our guest of the evening. He's a very funny man. A guy who the crew just accepted in. He's like we met him for an hour weeks ago, and he's like our brother now. It's rare that the show has a connection with someone like that we've never met. Reporting live from his couch in New York City. Please welcome Mr. Matt Vita.
Woo!
Yeah! Oh shit! Great to be back. Cheers to all you guys.
Cheers.
I came once and I came again. I'm sorry, GW. Oh man, your neighbor's got it good though. GW was talking about how his dog has been like smelling and peeing on the new neighbor's car, but in Brooklyn, when you're new to the neighborhood, I'm the one that comes and smells and pisses on your car. So, so it's, oh man, good to be back on the show. I'm in Brooklyn now. I've been thinking, so like, there's a lot of people now that are like upset about like sports, like are sports gonna come back, or there's a big debate about sports, and like it got me to thinking about like how fucking stupid society is, you know, like this is sports. This is how I conceptualize sports. Like we basically pay people a lot of money to do something that we want to do instead of just doing it, right? And then like if you want, you could pay the person that paid the person to do what you wanted to do to go watch them do it. Right? Like that's like baseball. I'll just go to the park. Racing is, I guess, a little harder because you need like a nice car. The other one, or the big one, I don't know if you guys have any intelligent people that watch this, but if you do, they probably saw this one coming. The big one is pornography, right? You know, pornography. It's the most extreme example of this concept, and it's not because I'm saying that a little casual doggy style is crazier than driving a Maserati at 220 mphs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just because there's like the weird legality issue, right? Like, all right, I'm not a sports guy. I feel like I established that, so my references will be a little dated probably. But like George Steinbrenner can pay Derek Jeter $20 million to play baseball, right? And if I, as a fucking loser, bumped into Derek Jeter in a bar, like I could conceivably be like, "Hey Derek, big fan. Any way I could pay you a couple $100 to go out back and play with this ball?" Like that's fine. Like it might be like a pathetic move, but like you could totally do that. In pornography, let's check it out. Pornography style, like a pornography director could pay like GW, good looking guy. You could pay him a couple $1,000s to have sex with Collen. You know, if you concede it, like that could happen. Like you could pay you two to have sex with each other. That's fine. And I could be sitting on my couch in Brooklyn, and I could pay $1.99 and then watch you guys have sex. But if I bumped into GW at a bar, I'm like, GW, big fan. Anyway, I could pay a couple $100 to play with these balls. That, my dude, is a felony in New York. All right. So I don't know. That was just a thought I had. I think that's like a sex worker positive. That's the thrust of that. There's no punchline to that. That's it. I know. Last time I was on here, I was doing some Zoom booms. And since then, I've made a Zoom boom theme song, which I will sing. All right? Because a Zoom boom is just a shitty one-liner joke. And the theme song is a Zoom boom boom. Let me hear you say ha ha.
Ha ha.
A Zoom boom boom. Let me hear you say ha ha.
Ha ha.
Girl, your punchlines are so crass. I just want to make you laugh. Let me laugh just one more time. My punchline, because a zoom boom boom. Let me hear you say ha ha.
Ha.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So here's some Zoom boom booms. Some new, worse than the ones from last time. I got some malware on my computer the other day. I was kind of upset. So to cheer myself up, I wrote a couple of hack jokes. I don't know if you guys heard this, but Ronald McDonald from McDonald's, he's actually cloning himself. The original guy that character is based off of is cloning himself. And it's like, moron! Right, because there'll be more of him.
Nah.
I think it's cool. I think you guys agree with me. I think we're getting to a better place as society. Like it's not like in high school, like everyone was like sort of judgy on like, sexuality and that kind of stuff, which I think it's cool that everyone can just kind of be themselves these days. It's like an accepted thing. And I feel like every like binocular that I knew in high school is like a full gaynocular now. Okay, a zoom boom boom. Let me hear you say ha ha.
Ha ha.
All right, what I want to talk about, I miss performing. I miss being on the road and doing stand-up. I remember one of the last times I was out on the road, I was in New Hampshire, and halfway through a set, I was doing a half hour, and halfway through the set, I actually got paid $20 to take my shirt off. This is a true story. I also rapped in Spanish that show. It was a really wacky thing. 10 minutes after that, I actually got paid $30 to put it back on. I thought about doing this. Actually, I have a bit about Vermont. So I don't know if you guys know this. I know you guys are all from Vermont. People in New Hampshire like to make fun of people in Vermont. So I used to have this Vermont bit that I would do in New Hampshire. And I was like, oh, what better way to potentially alienate my new friends than to do my Vermont bit real quick.
Yeah.
But no, you guys are from Vermont, so you probably like realize this. Like, but there's like a lot of really hot 22-year-old girls on Tinder in Vermont that have 8-year-old sons. This is true. I was in Vermont last winter, and actually I got on the chairlift at Killington. I was skiing for the day, and I locked eyes with this girl. By the time we got to the top of the mountain, she was 6 months pregnant. I skied down as fast as I could. By the time I got to the ski lodge, I was a deadbeat dad with a broken pickup and a job at the ski mart. I don't know. It's funny because like I feel like people are kind of religious up there too. Like I'm not religious, but like right before COVID, my niece actually did that thing. What do you call it? I'm fucking forgetting now. She had to pick a new name, like drink a little wine.
Catechism?
Oh no, she became a stripper. Yeah, it was the Italian side of the family though, so we all went out to support, right? Always gotta eat, right? We ate after. Kyle, you know what I'm talking about. Always gotta mangia, right? Italian family, something good happens, mangia. Something bad happens, mangia. Going down on a new sexual party. All right, I think that was a tech glitch.
Manja.
All right, okay, that's my people right there. What do I want to do? I think I did impersonations last time. I'll do a quick impersonation. This is my impersonation of like Ricola, the Swiss cough drops. This is like a bad batch of Ricola, like that has like Ebola in it. Ricola. Right, they'll have to get the products back. This is this is fun. This is kind of like a road story thing. So I had this joke that like it's actually the first joke I ever wrote, and I kept it with me for too long, and it started to not work. It would over the years get less and less laughs to the point where I was in Virginia last year, and I did this joke, and at the end, at the punchline, it was complete silence. At that point, you should just stop doing the joke. But instead, I'm going to do that joke right now. It seems appropriate. So this is the first joke I ever wrote. By a show of virtual hands, I adapted it. How many people in here have got laid as a function of a late night AOL instant messenger conversation? Okay, we got one and a half. Maybe Kyle got a HJ. I don't know. Rest of you guys are probably just plain fucking losers. I don't know. I remember when I was in high school, I'd come home drunk on a Saturday night, cozy on up to the family computer, and start cruising for some puss. Dial up with the 56K modem. Start getting a semi. Which brief aside, actually, I'm gonna jump out of the joke for a second and do a brief aside. I did this joke at a club in New York a couple years ago, and I'm not gonna say the name because it's a big name whose career is doing a lot better than mine. But after my set, he was like, everyone's like doing like the whole, hey, good set, good set, good set. That's all going around, and I got a, hey man, you do a really good internet sound. So I probably should stop doing this joke at that point. All right, I'm going to jump back into the joke. For me, though, when I finally got on, I would go to hotornot.com, which for those of you that don't know is a website was just literally just pictures of chicks. You just say if they were hot or not, right? Just like hot dot, hot dot, hot dot, hot dot. And I had my buddy list in the background. And then as soon as Lax Chick 1985 signed on, I'd hit her up. But, hey. Hey. What's up? What's up? Do you want a Blockbuster and blow me? Oh, fuck. It worked with you guys. All right, so that's the punchline. That's like when I got crickets. And at that point, that's when you should completely kill a joke. But instead, what I did is, because I was doing 2 nights, so I wrote 25 alternate punchlines to the joke. And then the second night, I came out with this piece of paper, which I keep in my wallet, and I actually have with me to this day. And the next night, I did the joke, got a spattering of laughter, and then did 25 alternate punchlines. And I'm going to just run through the 25 alternate punchlines right now. Okay, so would have you guys laughed louder had the punchline been bop it and blow me? Okay, Chuck E. Cheese and cuck me. Radio Shack and ride me. Best Buy and bone me. Okay, so you guys get the game, right? It's just a 90s thing and then a sexual thing. But I've got 21 more to go. Okay, Discovery Zone and Doggy Style. Okay, Pets.com and Penetrate. Nope. Didn't like that one. Okay, Mixtape and Mix It Up. Furbies and Feel Me Up. Laser Tag and Lick Me Up. Tamagotchi and Tie Me Up. Chain Wallet and Chain Me Up. Choker and Choke Me. Beat Me and Bleat Me. Watergate and Water Sports. And then I wrote in parentheses after the second night, that's the wrong decade, asshole. We'll keep going. Walkman and Wank Me. Discman and Dick Me. This is one of my favorites. Tickle Me Elmo and Tickle Me Butthole. Ass Play, I feel like Ass Play really came into its own in 2019. That was like the unsung hero of 2019. Keep going. Jenkos and Jerk Me Off. All right. New Kids on the Block and New Tits on My Cock. Number 20 is Pac-Man, and I never had a sexual thing. That's a crowd choice. Anyone got Pac-Man and nothing, just like what I am inside emotionally. Okay, Skip It and Slip It In. VHS and VJ. 50 free hours of AOL CD and an over-the-pants hand job. Okay, we got 2 more, guys. Free Willy and Hump Me. And my note to myself the next day was, even if he was an orca. And Monica Lewinsky, and I don't know, she's been through enough, hasn't she? So that's that. I don't know. I guess the moral of that story, once again, there's not going to be a punchline. I'll just do a moral. Basically, you're going to run out of fun in life, so you got to keep reinventing the fun until you get the $100 billion that Collen's going to get on the scratch-offs, and then we could just give up our artistic pursuits forever and just drink ourselves into an early grave. And with that, I will transition into the uplifting, discussional, topical discussion portion of the evening.
Matt, thank you for being here, sir. It's great to have you back on the show.
Yay.
And I waited till mid-sip to let you respond because I'm a good host.
Great to be
and
here.
not just some alcoholic magician hack who, blows off his performance and throws up a video instead. So...
I just like to say for the record, Matt, that GW and I will go on camera and have sex for a lot less than $200,000. I mean, we haven't talked about, but GW, what do you think? $100K ought to do it, right?
I'm cheap. Yeah. That's $100K each or together. Like,
I would go together. I mean, that's still $99,000 more than the last time you probably agreed to be solicited for sex.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
I'm just hoping I can make a few bucks filming this thing.
Dude, everyone makes money.
I'll just maybe make a dong appear or something. I don't know.
I think that could work, Hickory, because the production value here at the show just keeps getting better. I love the cutaway to the pre-recorded material. Very magician of you. I think we're onto something here.
It's about that constant improvement, my friend. That's what we're doing.
I just like to also say, Matt, that I didn't realize that New Hampshire was talking so much shit about Vermont.
Dude, you got to get your convoy over there, man. All right.
You know what? Manchester's off the table. Portsmouth, you're done. You know what? We're going straight through from Vermont to Maine. That's really it. It's New Hampshire's the south of New England, anyhow. And like I always say, the best part of New Hampshire is really its view of Vermont and Maine.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 17 miles of very surfable, beautiful coastline, but other than that, they could shove off. I'm Vermont proud, okay? Or just blow them up, I mean, the only thing that Vermont is missing is ocean coastline. So if you just blew up fucking New Hampshire,
just wait till global warming happens.
I'm on a limited timeline, G-dubs.
I wanted to respond to Matt's set by saying "Bop it and blow me" was the original Biden campaign slogan. But he went with "Smack it and sniff me" instead. So
I thought he was going to go with that campaign he really loved, which was "Sniff it and sniff it."
Some topics to talk about tonight. I want to respond to. I agree, Matt. Sports are stupid on their own. Like we don't need like the intersectionality injected into them. Like part of me, and I'll sideline from the debates here. What we're talking about, the sports thing is like blowing my mind that sports used to be what people tuned into to forget about their shitty lives and the bullshit politics going on. And now there's an entire team wearing Black Lives Matter shirts and kneeling during the national anthem. And I'm just like, dude, I'm here to forget that bullshit. I just want to watch 10 dudes throw a ball at a net and drink some beers and pretend that like everything's okay.
There's a
can't even
team
have
called the
that.
Black Lives Matter?
It's what?
There's a team called the Black Lives Matter?
No. There's like most of the teams are wearing Black Lives Matter shirts.
Oh, I see.
And kneeling, they're all wearing the shirt.
That could have
and kneeling.
complications, couldn't it? Because then you have like half the team are voting for it, like the fans are voting for him. Then half the fans are like, kick Black Lives Matter's ass. Like, I don't know how that worked.
Didn't the Washington team, isn't it just the Washington football team now?
For right now.
We were joking that at work, actually, my friend and I were talking about that. They should change their name to the Washington Team of Football, and that way their initials can be WTF. and that they can just like wear like very like stereotypical old school football, or they could wear soccer uniforms because that's what everybody else refers to as football, and that would be exceptionally funny as well.
Well, it's fitting that they would call themselves the Washington Football Team and just name themselves after one of the biggest white supremacists of all time.
I still love the Onion article about the change of the name, and I don't know if everybody out there's seen it, but the Onion article was that the Washington Redskins have officially changed their name due to it being racially insensitive, and they have decided to call themselves the DC Redskins.
The Hamilton Redskins.
Like, you nailed it, guys. You nailed it. I personally think we should call them the Pigskins, and they should dress in police uniforms. and it's fitting because a football is made of pigskin.
I'm telling you right now, they play the Black Lives Matter. It's going to be a bigger game than the Super Bowl.
Can you imagine? That's the highest rated Super Bowl we've ever had, man. There's gonna be the interesting part would be which sponsors took which side. Be like, man, Doritos really backed the Blue Lives Matter this year, but those Frito-Lay.
Hey man, only Cool Ranch, all right? Don't get classic nacho cheese tied up in this shit.
Colin's got a little delay there, but we will keep going. So we want to talk about a few things tonight. I wanted to bring up Beirut. It was a big happening this past week. 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate detonated in a port city, one of the larger cities in Lebanon, killing a couple hundred people, destroying lots of buildings. It was a very big deal. Sorry, what was that?
Only a couple hundred?
Last I checked, it was like 27. I don't do enough research, did you see a higher number?
No, I'm just surprised. I figured it'd be a lot more.
Last number I saw count was like 275 dead and a little under 1,000 injured.
Yeah.
Which is extraordinary.
Everyone knows
that blast was huge.
At my news here on the Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming show. This is my weekly source of news. So it's where I find out what's going on in the world.
And for anybody who wants to stay very uninformed, this is exactly where you should go.
We're changing the name of the show, Hickory the Drunken Uninformed.
That's going to be our news show that we launched.
Move over, Tim Pool.
That's right. You just get out of the way. Tim Cast IRL is going to be out. It's going to be Hickory the Drunken Uninformed podcast, and we're just going to talk about shit we have no idea about.
That's very 2020 of you, dude.
Thank you. I'm trying to be progressive. It's I've been called a redneck much of my life, and I'm trying to move over a little. And
my first lesson's going to be on fascism, man.
That was one thing I wanted to bring up. I saw that Teespring this week banned all Antifa wear, which was I want to say it's a bold move by them, but really, I mean, It's a Antifa, dude. Like, who cares? Right? Like, so this past week, I followed Tim Pool, and one of the things he was talking about was talking about Portland. And one of the things that happened this past week was there was a little old lady who was in front. So backstory, on like the 71st or 72nd night of upheaval riots in Portland, they were trying to burn down the police union building. What happened was this little old lady came out and was like, hey guys, to get your message across, like, you should stop the violence and just, you know, be peaceful, and that will help. And they poured dumped paint on this little old lady. And
Is that what happened? I saw that again. Just getting my news now.
It made me very sad. But Tim Pool had asked, where were all the strapping young men, like, to step in and defend this little old lady? And my only thought was, Tim, it's Portland. Portland doesn't have strapping young men. All of the strapping young men that live in Portland identify as something else. I just wanted to see what the panel thought about the thought of strapping young men in cities like Portland and Seattle.
Well, I have to say, I saw the video, I believe, and there was a strapping young man right in the woman's face. She had like caution tape around her and was covered in paint, and these people were screaming, wear your mask. This is my thought about it. This delusional old woman clearly probably didn't have a mask to put on. Secondly, this old woman, fragile as she looked, is at the highest risk of COVID, right? She's not the person spreading it. She's the woman on a ventilator, right? Thirdly, it looked really hard to breathe, let alone put a mask on, with the amount of paint all over her face and body. Like, I got to be honest with you. I don't want to get anyone affected with COVID, but if you pour paint all over me, you scream at me, and I got like caution tape, like I'm a police scene or something like that, a mask, I mean, I'm going to shove a mask up the first person's ass I can reach. You know what I'm saying?
Mask.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this mask and quote unquote literally shove it up your ass. is my stance on that video. But again, just getting my news now.
I'm surprised that they took the PETA tactic of pouring paint on people. Like, was she wearing fur? I hope.
It wasn't red though. So
what color was the paint?
I think it was white, because
white paint.
You know,
So she
you
got
whitewash a white lady who's complaining about Black Lives Matter protesters trying to burn down a police union building. It's bizarro world. We live in
story as old as time.
We live in legit clown world right now. That's the only thing I can say about that shit.
Honest question. Did this little old lady live in a shoe?
No, but I did hear she had a lot of kids.
She had to give her dog a bone.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
And it was all her kids surrounding her. I don't know.
Take that, mother.
It's like the whole argument is like the whole point of wearing the mask is be like a selfless act to try to help older people, you know what I mean, and help the most vulnerable of this, which I believe is like above 70 maybe or something like that. It's like your highest risk. I think it's funny when you have like a 20-year-old person with a mask on and like an old person's face being like, put a mask on, put a mask on. It's like, just let this old person just like, they don't have a mask. Who the hell knows what this person, they could have dementia for all you. You don't know what's going on.
Like she made it old enough to be visibly elderly, man. She won. Let her live her life.
Just let her live her life, man.
Like,
let her smoke her
have...
Winston 100s and just.
All I gotta say is, if you are over 65 and you come out to yell at me about something I'm doing, tell me to stop, I'm gonna stop just because you've lived enough to see some shit. And like, who am I at half your age to tell, or less than half your age, to tell you what you should be doing? So my heart goes out to her. My other thought was that that stuff isn't happening in more rural areas. You know what I mean? Like you don't see like 100 protesters surround a little old lady in like Woodstock or Killington. I feel
Oh
like
no, because the little old lady would be part of the fucking protest.
that's true. Or she'd be on the other side, and an entire militia would show up to defend her. Other topics I wanted to bring up tonight. Let's see. Sorry, grabbing the notes, being unprofessional here. Earlier topics we brought up. Oh, masks. We're talking about that. I saw a guy wearing a mask this week that said, "This mask is as ineffective as my governor." And I was like, it should probably say this mask is as ineffective, or I view this mask as ineffective as my governor. But I was like, part of me can't argue with you, dude. I think the governors have done a shit job handling this whole situation.
Well, have any of you guys had to wear the makeshift mask? I had to do it today. So I had to go to AT&T because I dropped my phone, which is just, of course, it's like the DMV or something like that. It's just like, when you're going there, you're going to have to spend money or something. It's going to have to happen. I didn't have a mask because I took my mask out. I didn't have it, but I had a T-shirt. So I put a T-shirt on and tied it around me. And I'm slating it here, folks. I'm telling you, this is going to be big. I took a picture of it. This fall and winter, the mask scarf.
Yeah.
It's just a T-shirt, more or less, tied around your face. It got me into AT&T. Technically, it qualified as a mask. I think it's going to be big.
I think if you could figure that out with the armor plate in the front.
Some type of tactical unit.
Yeah, you'd sell them to every single protester that's out on the West Coast right now. It'd be a moneymaker.
It's going to be available in Gilly as well. So.
Oh, sweet.
My favorite one I saw online was someone that they used. I hope I'm saying this word correctly. It's, I think, French. They used their thong underwear as a mask. Their panties, if you will.
That sounds lovely.
And I saw another one. A Jewish gentleman was using his yarmulke as a mask, which I thought was a creative.
Did he attach two? Because that seems almost perfect. Like you have the front and the rear. I mean, please don't hate me for being insensitive. I've never worn one, but I imagine that if you had one on your head and you just had two strings connecting to another, it would be almost perfect. And then you could just stack them once you got back into your vehicle. Is that insensitive? Am I being?
That is either the most genius thing I've heard or the most insensitive thing I've heard. Either way, it was funny.
There's been a lot of insensitive thoughts I've had in front of here. One thing I wanted to bring up that I didn't bring up in the early show was there's been a lot of complaints, and you guys, both Colin and Matt, spending some time in New York. I saw a news article this week about the Upper East Side, and that residents are complaining. So what has happened is apparently the city of New York decided that homeless shelters would obviously just create COVID incubators for the homeless, and that's not a good plan. So what they did was they stuck them at like luxury hotels all across the city. And so they've stuck three of them in, three hotels full of homeless people in the Upper East Side. They're getting a great deal at $175 a room is what the city's paying. But now we're having instances where all these residents on the Upper East Side are complaining about homeless people out. They're not staying in their rooms. They're out in front. They are publicly relieving themselves. They're publicly family-friendly, self-gratifying. And in fact, one of them came back as a registered offender. And one of these hotels is less than a block from a playground.
Oof.
It raises all sorts of questions over what the hell the city of New York thought that was a good idea. But
So it's basically turning into San Francisco.
yeah, they're trying to turn the very rich, beautiful section of New York into the very not rich, beautiful, unbeautiful section of New York, I guess. But I figured Matt, Colin, you guys would have a little more insight into that area.
Well,
maybe
I used to live in the Upper East Side for many years, and what I'll say is, you can take the homeless man off the street, but you can't take the streets out the homeless man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna shit where we want. We gonna do what we want up in here. I didn't know I wasn't allowed to have a 40 in this lobby right now. You're playing by our rules now. Now, I know that the city of New York has probably spent their money on more frivolous thing than putting homeless people in luxury high rises, but
it's about $2 million a day right now. Is what?
How much is it a day?
$2 million a day homing the homeless.
Yeah, I think that's probably compared, like the city of New York probably spends more money each day, like sweeping up cigarettes off the sidewalk or something, like
True.
that. But the thing is, what I'm going to say is, like, if I was homeless, I would want like my housing to be like one step up from homeless. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go from homeless to like living in a penthouse a guy who's like making 7 figures a year can't live in. You know what I mean? It's just like a total fall from grace after that. You're just going to be back on the streets being like, I'll tell you, man, we were living big during COVID. Oh, yeah. I had room service, HBO, rainfall, water shower, or whatever the hell you call it. Those were the good days, COVID.
They should just put the tents up. They had in Central Park at the peak of it, like when we were tripping over bodies over here. They put the makeshift morgue. Just reconvert the tents.
That's the thing. Tent, huge step up from sleeping on the concrete.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like a cot, a tent. That's nice. You don't want to go right to the Ritz-Carlton. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. Once you stay at the Plaza Hotel, no other experience is going to be the same.
I felt like it just pointed out the craziness that some people think that the cure to homelessness is putting the homeless in a home. That we're at the point in society in the U.S. where people think the solution to that problem is that easy. Like that if there was just, all these abandoned buildings sprawling all over these urban areas, and if we just put people in them, and it's like, dude, those buildings already exist.
This is the thing I'm going to say about as far as being homeless in New York City. If you are homeless in New York City, you are clearly mentally ill, right? If you were homeless in any city in the Northeast, you are mentally ill. We are borderline mentally ill, willingly having homes that are heated living up here. Can you imagine being homeless? I would walk the entire length of I-95 from New York City to Miami and be homeless on South Beach, right? Why not be homeless in the tropics with topless women around? You're going to sleep in Penn Station. There's literally buses leaving every day. Just get on a bus. You know what I mean? Like, even if you have to get in the cargo section, I would literally leave the city hanging from the bottom of a train like an old Western, southbound. There's no way you could keep me in the Northeast exposed to the elements. I would walk. It's about 2,000 miles. Might take me. I might die also along the way. But I'd be headed.
Yeah, I hear that. That's always blown my mind that people live up here in that, and the fact that they don't leave. I find winters here suck as a guy who drives a newer model car, as a guy who can like afford 2 pairs of gloves per winter.
Oh, this guy with his car and his gloves. I don't have a single pair of socks over here.
Not to sound real rich here, but like as a guy who, I don't know, has a cell phone so he can call for help if he needs it.
You go through 2 pairs of gloves a season? That's some bougie ass shit, dog.
Hey man, I gotta establish my my wealth dominance.
Yeah, Lloyd, we are in the Rockies.
I gotta say, bro, we live in the second whitest state in the country, and this privilege is really paying off with the 2 gloves a winter.
Oh,
What's wetter than Vermont?
I was gonna say, what is whiter than Vermont?
Maine, I think. Maine is last I
Really?
heard.
No, it's not Maine. It's
Oh no.
it's one of the Dakotas. I believe.
What was the
Okay.
thing we were talking about before? That's whiter than Vermont. Oh yeah, that's right, New Hampshire. We could also talk shit. NH, how you like them apples?
Right. Yeah, that's right. New Hampshire ain't an upside down Vermont, New Hampshire is an upside down Vermont. Vermont is not an upside down New Hampshire. And if you disagree with
Metaphorically and literally.
You guys are. I mean, let's be honest. You guys are just 69ing each other, man.
It's kind of interesting, right? Because it's kind of like a red state and a blue state just nestled into each other, all smooching it like.
Dude, New Hampshire's got its tongue in Vermont's mountains, and Vermont's got its tongue in New Hampshire's oceans, man.
That's just us hoping.
I got a delay on that.
We'll have seafood, you know. My buddy, a guy I know works at a meat and seafood place, and he recently had somebody ask him if they had any local seafood in Woodstock, Vermont. To which he responded, "I'm sorry, miss, we're in a landlocked state," which she thought was very rude. And he responded with something like, or she responded with like, "What about like, I don't know," and continued to list off some fish that don't live here. And I was like, "No, miss, what happens is if you want to eat bass or trout and you live in Vermont, you get a fishing pole and you go catch a bass or a trout and you eat it in Vermont." Like, it's same with venison. We have that up in here where people come into Vermont and they're like, "Oh, I hear you guys got a lot of deer around here. Where can we purchase some of that deer meat?" It's like they sell rifle cartridges at the sporting goods store. And what you got to do is you go online and you get a hunting license, right? And the investment is your time.
I heard on Joe Rogan that elk meat is delicious. Do you have some of that?
Well, he hunted his own, but I'm way more privileged than Joe Rogan. I thought I could buy some.
Yeah. You're not telling us anything we don't know, you know. The thing is, we got these people up here. That's what it is right now, being in Vermont. It's like the wave of Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island. And it was funny because I had a friend from Jersey who was like, "Yeah, I was up here a little while ago in Green Mountain State. It's beautiful and everything." I'm like, "You guys are fair weather fans. You know what I mean? That's what you guys are. You're fair weather fans. You know, you're like the team that was all pissed off about Kaepernick. Now you're wearing the Black Lives Matter. You're a fair weather fan. You know."
Oh, we were joking about that the other day about all these people in Vermont buying houses up right now, and they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna move to Vermont. It's safer." They're moving out of the cities, and like none of those people have lived a Vermont winter.
Oh no, and
Like,
yeah,
these
exactly.
people are moving here in June, July, August, September. They have no clue what February 2nd.
Oh, they got no idea what's in store for them. They've got.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so great.
This is gonna be the year that more Vermonters freeze to death because of lack of firewood than they do die of COVID. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking it was the year where like a lot of them just leave in like late December. Like they get through Christmas and then they're like, "Oh no, this is not what we signed up for. Like we're gonna go back to the city where there's like a store within a block."
Yeah.
And they're like, "A place where after 8 o'clock I don't have to drive an hour to find food."
I'm gonna take my chances with COVID golfing in Florida.
Yeah, we were counting plates. We're playing that game. I don't know if you guys have played that game with your significant other or anybody else lately, where you're driving around and you count Vermont plates versus out-of-state plates.
Yep.
It was last Monday. We had a 4-to-1 ratio on the way back from the gym. 4 out-of-staters per 1 Vermont plate.
I got about the same ratio this weekend. I was roadside doing snow cones and cotton candy, organic. Plug it. Organic snow cones and cotton candy. Route 4 Bridgewater.
Please drop by downtown Bridgewater.
And on Saturday, I had about an 8 out of 10 car ratio. So it was 2 VT cars for every 10 cars. 8 of them were out of state. And so about 80% was what I was seeing basically this entire weekend.
Yep, the property values are not going down around here right now. That's for sure. Anyways, that's about it. We're actually like 5 minutes over right now. Anybody have anything, closing thoughts? Anything you need to get off the chest?
I just want to say, keen observation, Matt, tonight with the 22-year-olds on Tinder in Vermont. I have to say, like, I have actually seen things that it's like, hi, I'm single. I have a 1-month-old. It's like, you have a 1-month-old, focus on that shit, okay? The dating days are done. You don't get a steak dinner right now, whatever. You got a 1-year-old, a 1-month-old, okay? Like,
dude, I you know, no joke, I've seen pregnant women and like, you know, like.
So if you don't like pregnant women, swipe left, okay?
Well, the best thing about a pregnant woman is you can't knock her up twice.
This is true.
Oh, G-Dub's all about that silver lining.
Yeah, silver lining.
You could come.
Difficult is, you know, you're dealing with a baby right now.
So somebody already camed in this one. I could come in her as much as I want.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, yeah, I got another 8 months before it's where that taps run dry.
So guys, I'm going to send out the contracts for the Woolen Mill porno shoot. I'm going to get
Good.
Right.
Good.
Right. I think we locked in at $100,000. So I mean, I'm down whenever you guys are available.
All right. Well,
Are we gonna make them dress up like police officers or something? I feel like that would sell really well right now.
We could get some pizzas from Andy. Just pizza delivery.
There's a scene where one of them's in the back with a baton, just like, no, comply. It's
Gonna be a fantasy because no one would ever believe GW and I could be a cop.
This is true.
If GW and I pulled over people, they would just be like, hide the donuts. These guys are stoned.
Officer Friendly and Officer McStuffy over here.
Last warning, man. Slow it down.
You don't want to see us again, man.
You ever been pulled over by Stone Tom Cruise, man? It's a trip.
Was that Maverick?
I don't know, man. The sunglasses were exactly the same.
I understand you have the need for speed. Woo!
That was 45 and a 50. Why are you driving so slow? Matt, any closing comments mid-beer again?
No, I was trying to formulate a joke about a 45-year-old having sex with a 50-year-old, and like the punchline would be like a 45 and a 50, but I didn't come up with it quick enough. But it's great to see you guys. It's always super fun. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it. I'm glad you came back. We didn't scare you off the first time.
Dude, I will come back anytime you want me.
Okay, well, you heard it here first, folks. Matt Vita will definitely. There we go.
Oh, I'm gonna plug. These are my. Yeah, these are my friends. I'm gonna plug them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, promote.
Yeah, let me.
What variety is that one?
This is the Ghost Wave IPA.
Nice.
It's delicious.
Sounds delicious. That's actually a great segue. Plugs. Matt, take it away. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at BigDogNY1, BigDawgNY1. I just put a real great video up today. And I got some other stuff. I got a couple of podcasts and stuff coming out. Shooting a couple of things this week. So I'll post promo stuff on there. So please follow.
G-Dubs, where can we find you, sir?
Twitter, Instagram, Parlor, @FoleyKills.
How are you doing on Parlor, by the way?
I got like 2 people following me.
Okay.
So, and,
So please,
I've only
it'll
had
be
one
free
post.
once I decide to switch over, but I have not. I haven't picked it up yet. I'm
It's
waiting.
fine. The water's warm.
What's Parlor?
Parlor is like Twitter, but everybody that's been banned for Twitter, plus people who like freedom of speech. That's what I've been. How I've been
Interesting.
phrasing it. It's similar, but not as I don't know, cancel culture-y.
Okay.
Not as SJWE. You can actually, from what I understand, you can post some things that are mildly spicy on Parlor, and people don't just freak out on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, check it out. I mean, it's there's many alt tech sites doing very well right now, due to the current restrictions on the larger platforms. Other than that, Colin, where can we find you, good sir?
You guys can find me next to the road scooping snow cones and making cotton candy at Organic Snow Cones and Cotton Candy, located in the historic Bridgewater Village, downtown Bridgewater, Vermont.
What nights are you there, and what are your hours?
Oh, it's the cotton candy business. So, you know, sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. You know what I mean? You never know. But I'm going to be trying to be there during the weekend when the weather's hot and you want a soggy cotton candy or an ice cold snow cone. That's when we'll be there.
And if you tip, Colin will give you a Zoom boom in person. Here, I don't know.
Or it might be a bop and blow me.
It depends how many snow cones you blow that day.
That's true. People are saying, I'll take a snow cone and blow me.
Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 16 of the Hickory the Drunken Under Quarantine show, presented to you by the Woolen Mill Comedy Club. And believe me, we can't wait to be back in there. It's a good thing we'll be back there after the temps have lowered a little bit.
Yeah.
We are working on the game plan for getting actual shows rolling. But who knows what's going to happen. We live in a world where the information changes weekly. So it's hard to say. I know that we're doing very good on the 15 days to slow the spread. Considering we made those 15 days over 150. We are killing it, guys. Keep up the good work out there. Please, for all of you, remember to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Thank you very much.